Adriana's ASMR Adventures. Hi, come on in. Welcome. My name is Dr. A. I'm going to be your optometrist today. Yes. So before we begin, could I just confirm your name and date of birth? Okay. Alright, perfect. So you're in the right place. Do you normally wear glasses or contacts? Okay. I can see that you have your glasses on, just to be sure. Alright, so today I'm going to be examining your eyes and your vision. Is that okay with you? Alright, excellent. So during this examination, I'm going to be jotting down some notes on my notebook here, and if any issues arise, I'll be taking note of that, but no worries. Okay, so we're going to start off by assessing your visual acuity. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this Snellen chart that is behind me, and I'm going to point at some different letters, and I'm going to ask you to say the name of the letter, okay? And if at any point the font gets too small for you, just let me know, and that'll be completely fine. We'll just stop there. Okay? Very well. So if you could please cover your left eye, and with your right eye, read the letters that I point to. Alright? Okay. Alright. Excellent. Very good. Take your time. Okay. 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 Too small for you? Alright, no worries. So that is 20/20 on your right eye. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to cover your right eye, and with your left eye you're going to do the same exact thing, okay? So I'll point once again to each letter and just say the letter name. And once it gets too small for you to be able to see, just let me know. Alright. Okay. Great job. Okay. No problem. Okay. Alright, and can you read this line for me? That's a little bit too small. Okay. Great. So let me jot that down as well. So on your left eye, you are at 20/25 vision. Alright, so there is a little bit of a disparity between each eye, but that's alright. It's not too big a difference. Okay? Alright, so now that that part of the examination is done, we're going to assess your near vision. So what we're going to do for this task is that I have a paper that has a couple of paragraphs, and each paragraph is in a different font or a different size of font. So I'm going to ask you to read whichever one you can read that is the smallest font. So whatever font you can read, please read that paragraph to me. If these are too small for you, we also have some larger fonts on these 2 pages as well as in the back. Okay? Very well. So take a look at that real quick and let me know which one you think you want to read. Okay, let's start with this one. Alright, so please read this paragraph for me. Okay, thank you. Very good. So now that we've done that, we're going to look at each eye individually, okay? So again, same task. I'm going to ask you to read from this sheet of paper and just read whatever is the smallest paragraph that you can comfortably read, okay? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to cover your left eye. Alright, and with your right eye, read whichever one is the smallest paragraph that you can comfortably read. Okay? Okay, thank you. Alright, so let me make note of that real quick. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to do the same thing one more time. So this time with your left eye you're going to be reading. So cover your right eye, and once again here is the different paragraph options. So which one is the smallest that you can comfortably read? This one? Okay. So please read that out loud for me. Okay. Excellent. You're doing great. All right. Thank you. Okay, so once again, let me just jot that down real quick and we'll move on to the next task. Okay, so that was number 9. And once again, it seems that there is a slight disparity between each of your eyes, but that is completely fine. It's actually pretty normal. Okay, so normally during this part of the examination, we would do a color vision test if requested to do so, or if I note that there might be some type of issue with your color vision. So have you noticed any issues with your color vision? So telling colors apart from each other, maybe some colors kind of look dull, or you have trouble distinguishing certain colors whenever they're amongst others? No? Okay. Perfect. So that means that we won't have to do that part of the examination. So that's good. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next part of the exam. So let me just jot down real quick that we're skipping the color vision section, and then we'll move on, okay? Okay, so now we're going to assess your visual fields. So if you could please remove your glasses for me. Great, and you can just set them down on the side if you want, or you could just hold on to them. Okay, perfect. Okay, so our first task with this, please cover your left eye and look at my nose with the other eye. Yeah, look at my nose. Is any part of my face missing? Okay, great. Now cover your right eye, and with your left eye look at my nose. Is any part of my face missing? Okay, perfect. So it seems that you don't have any central visual loss, so that is perfect. Okay, so now we're going to assess visual neglect. So this is going to be very similar. I'm going to ask you to look at my nose. Okay, I'm going to wiggle my fingers on each side and just tell me when you see the wiggling, okay? Alright, so keep looking at my nose. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now we're going to assess your peripheral visual fields. Alright, so this is very similar. I'm going to ask you to cover one of your eyes. So let's start with covering your left eye. Okay, and look at my right eye and keep your head completely still. Alright, so now I'm going to take each of my hands and I'm going to move them, and I want you to tell me when you see my hand come into view and if they disappear at any point, okay? Alright. Tell me when you see my hand and if it disappears, okay? Tell me if you see my hand and when it disappears. Okay. Now, tell me when you see my hand and if it disappears. Okay, and tell me if you see my hand and does it disappear? Okay, great. So let me jot that down. All right. Now I'm going to do that with your other eye, okay? So please cover your right eye, and with your uncovered eye, look at my right eye, okay? Great. So we're going to do that one more time. And just tell me when my hand appears and when it disappears. And does it disappear? Okay. Tell me when it appears. And does it disappear? Tell me when it appears. And does it disappear? Tell me when it appears. And does it disappear? Okay. Great. So those two seem to be pretty equal. Okay, so now I'm going to do a quick inspection of your pupils. Alright, so this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it won't be too long, so hopefully you'll be alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to look at an object behind me. So in this case, I'm going to ask you to look at the Snellen chart, and I'm going to shine a bright light at one eye, and then I'm going to alternate to the other eye, okay? Alright, so please just look straight ahead at the Snellen chart, okay? And please keep both eyes open for this, and keep your head completely still. Alright. And once again, this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it'll be over soon. Okay. 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 Great. So that seems to be working fine. And now I'm going to do what is called the swinging light test. So this is very similar. I'm going to swing the light from one eye to the other, and I want you to just keep staring straight ahead at the Snellen chart for me, okay? Alright. Okay, both your pupils seem to be dilating normally and at the same rate. Let me set that down. Both pupils are normal. Alright, now I'm going to assess your accommodation reflex. So I'm going to have you look again at the Snellen chart in the background, and then I'm going to ask you to look at a different object, okay? Okay. And I'll do this a couple of times. Okay. So, look at the Snellen chart. Now look at my finger. Now look at the Snellen chart. Now look at my finger. Look at the Snellen chart. Look at my fingers. Snellen chart. My fingers. Snellen chart. My fingers. Okay. Very good. Alright, so everything seems to be good there. And now, finally, we're going to assess your eye movements, okay? So I'm going to be using this pencil. Okay? Now, the first part of this task. Do you see the little pink ball on top of the eraser? Okay. Now, do you see one or two? Okay. Great. Alright. Now, I'm going to ask you to please follow that little ball with your eyes, keeping your head completely still, and tell me if you get any double vision, any blurred vision, things like that, okay? Great. So just follow the little ball. Okay, and there wasn't any blurred vision and any double vision. Okay. Great, so it looks like you're in pretty good shape. So this concludes our examination. Do you have any questions or concerns? Okay, great. So everything seems to be fairly normal. There's only, as we said before when you were doing your visual acuity tests, there's only a slight disparity between each of your eyes. However, on the Snellen chart, one of your eyes read perfectly at 2020 level, and the other one was at 2025, okay? So that's only a little bit difference, and you were wearing your glasses for that. So all I would say is that we might want to change your prescription a little bit on one of your eyes. Okay, so I'll be sure to write out the prescription for you, and I'll send it to the front desk, okay? Great. Yeah, and then once you go to the front desk, if you want to purchase any lenses that we have there, you can order them there. All right. Great. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you, and thank you for coming by. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.